You ever find yourself trapped in one of those polite chats about the weather? You're smiling, you're nodding, but inside you just feel empty? Well, if that's you, you are so not alone. Today, we're going to dig into the real psychology behind why so many of us just can't stand small talk.
It's a really common feeling, isn't it? You do the whole song and dance, you smile, you nod, but the second it's over, you just feel more drained than you do connected. If that's ringing a bell, then yeah, you're definitely in the right place.
And let me just say right off the bat, that feeling is 100% valid. It's not just you being weird or difficult. That exact sense of being totally exhausted by surface-level chats, that's what we're going to unpack right now.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Why is this dread of small talk so incredibly common? What is really going on inside our heads during those conversations that feel like they're going absolutely nowhere?
This just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? There's this unspoken social pressure, this idea that we're supposed to enjoy these light little interactions. But for so many of us, it doesn't feel like connection at all. It feels like a performance, like you're putting in all this mental effort for basically zero reward.
And because of that feeling, a certain label gets thrown around a lot, sometimes by others, sometimes even by ourselves. And that word is antisocial. But what if that's not just the wrong word? What if it's completely missing the point? Let's challenge that myth.
And here is where it gets really interesting. The popular myth says that if you hate small talk, it's some kind of social failing on your part. But the reality? Oh, it's so much cooler than that. It's not about being unable to socialize. It's about your brain being wired to crave something more, something with a bit of substance.
So what is actually happening in your brain during these moments? I mean, why does one person get energized by chit-chat while you feel totally depleted? Well, the answer is all about how our brains are wired for information and, you guessed it, rewards.
The key idea here is a concept called mental resonance. The best way to think about it is like that click you feel when your brain is perfectly in sync with someone else's over a big idea or a complex thought. It's that amazing feeling of being on the exact same wavelength. And small talk, it almost never gets you there.
Okay, so here's the play-by-play. Your brain, by default, is a stimulation seeker. It's always on the lookout for new and complex stuff to chew on. But when it gets served up small talk, it finds, well, not much of either. And because there's no juicy problem to solve or a fascinating new idea to explore, that little dopamine reward system in your brain just doesn't light up. And the result? You're left feeling bored, unrewarded, and just plain drained.
And this brings us to a whole new way of looking at this. It's not about avoiding people, not at all. It's about an active craving for a totally different kind of interaction. It's a hunger for conversations that actually have some meat on their bones. So instead of talking about the weather, your brain is dying to do this stuff. It wants to wrestle with complex ideas, ask the big, meaningful questions, really explore a different way of seeing the world, and find those cool patterns and connections between things. This is the stuff that triggers that awesome, rewarding feeling of mental resonance. So if there is one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. If you walk away from a small talk feeling totally empty, it does not mean there's something wrong with you. It simply means your mind is hungry for depth. Think of it as a sign that you're wired for more meaningful, more complex, and way more rewarding connections.
So where do you go from here? Knowing this, how can you change your approach? Maybe the goal isn't just to grit your teeth and endure small talk. Maybe it's about learning how to gently steer the conversation into deeper waters. So the real question becomes, what big talk are you going to start today?